The Wagner Group has denied recruiting Serbs to fight in Ukraine. It issued the statement after pro-Ukraine activists filed criminal complaints against the organization. Serbian law prohibits citizens from taking part in conflicts abroad. Earlier, Serbia's president condemned Wagner after it called for volunteer fighters in Serbian language ads. Well, joining us now on the News Hour is Nemanje Starovića, who's State Secretary in the Ministry of Defense of the Republic of Serbia. He's joining us from Belgrade. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us on Al Jazeera. If I can ask you your reaction first to the news that the U.S. is designating Wagner as an international criminal organization in order to curb its activities globally. Does Serbia welcome this move?
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me and providing me with this opportunity to reiterate some facts that we find to be of utmost importance. First and foremost, there is nothing even close to any kind of recruitment drive in Serbia, as it has been unfortunately reported by many international media. Of course, we have been targeted by a malicious propaganda campaign in previous months, but that campaign is so detached from reality that I really believe it is destined to fail. And speaking about the facts, even Mr. Prigozhin, head of that Wagner organization, has stated himself that, as he said, there is no interaction between his organization and the Republic of Serbia whatsoever. So and I must reiterate one additional important fact. Are you saying those activists
in Serbia, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but are you saying that the activists in Serbia who filed this complaint against Wagner are making this up?
Yes, of course, because as you already said at the beginning, in Serbia it is prohibited by law to participate in any foreign armed conflict, be that war in Syria, war in Ukraine, or any other. And since we introduced such a law several years ago, any kind of outflow of our nationals is virtually stopped. There is a very strong sanctioning policy behind that, enforcing that decision, because anyone who engages in that kind of activities is facing up to 10 years prison time.
Okay, so can I just ask you, is it happening or not, the recruitment of Serbs by the Wagner Group?
It is not happening. I cannot say that there are no certain individuals who are present at either of the sides of the war in Ukraine, but we are speaking
if it's not happening, sir, can I just ask, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
About numbers,
yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you again. If it's not happening, as you say, why did President Vučić himself come out to say that this recruitment drive should stop, if it's not happening, as you say?
It is just a message to all the stakeholders in this tragic Ukraine war not to invite our nationals. If they say that they are friends of Serbia, they should not invite our people. They're not doing a favor to Serbia, and they're not doing the favor to those particular people, because they will be facing a very strong sanctioning policy here if they ever to come back to Serbia. Speaking about numbers, I'm not saying that there are not certain individuals who went to Ukraine on either of the side of the armed conflict, but we are speaking about very small numbers in one-digit or at worst two-digit numbers range, even beyond comparison with the nationals of other European countries.
Okay, so are you, once again, are you saying that this is not a concern for Serbia right now, the fact that these recruitment videos are going out in your country because the numbers are not that significant?
Well, there is a certain level of concern because we are targeted by this propaganda campaign for months now, which is aimed to falsely depict Serbia as some kind of a Russian proxy in the Balkans. And that is so detached from reality, because we are not anyone's proxy, and we are pursuing our policy, which is based on two pillars. First is that we are a military neutral country, and the second pillar is political independence. That doesn't mean that we do not have a principled stance regarding the war in Ukraine, the stance that is based on universally accepted values. And with that in mind, we are firmly standing behind the territorial integrity of Ukraine. But, and that is, of course, presented by our voting pattern in the United Nations General Assembly and under international organizations. But at the same time, we are faced with hypocrisy in a significant part of the international community, where we have numerous countries which are standing behind the territorial integrity of Ukraine, just as we do, but they are turning a blind eye to our own territorial integrity, even threatening by supporting separatism in our province of Kosovo and Metohija.
All right, you talked about Serbia not being a proxy of Russia, but Serbia has had good relations with Moscow. And in fact, some have criticized your country for valuing perhaps its relationship with Moscow more than joining the European Union. So I wanted to ask you whether, if this recruitment drive continues and we see a bigger number of perhaps Serbs involved in the conflict through Wagner or other groups, how would that affect your relations with the Kremlin? And have you discussed this issue with Moscow?
First, I wish to emphasize once again that there is no actual recruitment drive in Serbia, that it is prohibited by law in our country. We assess that this tragic war in Ukraine is a war between brotherly peoples. They're both Slavic peoples, they are all by religion Orthodox Christians, just like most of the people in Serbia.
But you did say you were concerned. You did say you were concerned, sir. You did say you were concerned. Did you express this concern to Moscow?
We are, first and foremost, we are concerned about this propaganda campaign that has been initiated, unfortunately, from the region, but that has been proven to be really fake. And the aim of that propaganda campaign is to depict Serbia as a Russian proxy, which is far from reality. We are no one's proxy. And the idea behind that propaganda campaign that we are facing is to depict the Balkans as such, as being a region split by a geopolitical rift, just for someone to prove that he is on the right or proper side, and to depict Serbia as someone who should be punished for I don't know what. But the previous year has proven all those accusations to be wrong, and Serbia has proven to be an anchor of stability in the region of the Balkans.
Thank you so much for taking this time to speak to us on Al Jazeera. Nemanje Starović is State Secretary in the Ministry of Defense of the Republic of Serbia. Thank you for your time.